That is a specialty hangar.
It's a specialty hangar, but it was built to house C-130s. But it has a foam system in it, or fire protection system in it, that's required by the Air Force, and it's very unique in that respect. But it can be used for any kind of aircraft out there, and it really doesn't have to be used for the aircraft that'll fit in it, what it was designed for. If you can fit 3 or 4 different aircraft in there, I mean, that'll work fine. It's just a solid facility. It may not be what we would have built if we were going to build it for smaller aircraft, but it'll work for smaller aircraft. It's just like you. You wouldn't build a 10-room house if you had a wife and 1 child. You wouldn't want 10 bedrooms. So that's kind of what we've got out here. We've got a very large hangar, and we'll find a family, so to speak, to fit in it very soon, I believe.
Well, we hope so, because I remember one of the things that was touted was 350 jobs.
Yeah.
And we've had a lot of businesses come to the community touting lots of jobs. And
we have.
And none of them, and I'm not being negative, but none of them have provided anywhere near what they said they would.
Well, they do the best they can, and I honestly think that Sitel would be 500 today had it not been for that recession. And they will be back again as soon as this economic condition ends.
Well, that was an unusual situation. Sitel is a unique setup in their own
Yes, it
self.
is.
And you know, before it was Service Zone, and then it was I can't remember the other company, but they have their own little special niche. And again, I expect, from what I know of the industry, they'll be back too as well, and putting in 400, 500, 600 people. I guess the question I'm going to ask you now, Tucson, is when people come in and say they're going to give 500 jobs, and they're going to bring this industry to the community, and there's no proven track record, okay, such as EJM, all right, no financial, and I'm not going to get into specifics, but no financials were ever pulled on the company to be brought.
Yeah, we had financials.
You did have financials.
Oh, sure. We had them from the beginning. Yeah, we had financials.
And they were presented to the board.
Oh yeah, we had financials. We had that was one of the things before the hangars would be built. We had to have the financials of EGM. Sure, we had them. We knew they were weak, but there was so much to be gained by bringing them here that yeah, it was certainly worth it. It was worth a try.
Wow. Okay. And I say that because I know as well back 5 years ago what things were, and that's why we're kind of stumbling around a little bit. But in hindsight, I'm looking at what the positive is you are today out there. And, you know, we kind of missed the big bullet in the sense of not having the assets out there and taking the whole bite.
Yeah, but you got to understand, this is where we were. We were trying to create something out of nothing. In this community. We were trying to go after an industry sector that we had no experience in. We were going after an industry sector where we had really no workforce, and nobody had a reason to come to Andalusia in the aviation industry. So EJM became a way to get there, so to speak, by going with EJM and trusting EJM to do what they said they were going to do. We had a way into the aviation industry that we wouldn't have had before. And that's why I say, even though EJM has failed as a company, their legacy is going to be positive around here, because they led us into something that there was no other way to get into. There's simply no other way. Well, they were here at the right time, when the state wanted to do something in aviation, when we saw the opportunity in aviation. When Vector had just gotten started, Vector was just a tiny little company back then, and it just all worked out. EJM obviously has financial problems right now, and I don't think EJM will be back.
Well, I'm not. I just, I hear what you're saying, and I think, and I'm not. What you're saying is we use them
Absolutely.
just as much as they used us.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So it's kind of one of those things. It's a crapshoot.
It's a
All right.
crapshoot.
And you get out there because we knew that EJM was nothing but a labor force provider to contractors out in Crestview.
Right.
They've never held a contract before. They never had a government contract before. But yet we're building these hangars out here and putting all this money investment into them.
Right.
And you knew that. You're telling me you absolutely knew that.
Well, sure. We knew what the financial condition of them was. Yeah. Sure.
Wow. So we took a crapshoot of $9 million.
There was much more to be gained by taking the chance than there was by not taking the chance.
Okay. Fair enough. Tucson, I think you do a great job. I'm just telling the truth and trying to get the facts out there. It's a hard job for you.
It is.
You take a lot of bullets, and first finger pointing when something happens around here is go see Tucson. You know, it is tough, but people need to know, again, the assets that are brought to the community. That's your job.
Mm-hmm.
Is sometimes it's getting down and dirty, but you have to. And you got to take the chances.
And you've got to take a chance sometime when you have nothing. And we took a chance, and the state also contributed a good deal of money into it, and it's going to work. In the long run, it's going to work very well. It didn't work for EJM, but it'll work for us.
With that being said, Mr. Roberts, we appreciate you allowing WKNI the time to come in your
Glad
office
to do
and
it.
talk to you. We support this community, as you well know, and we have faith that this community is going to grow, and we want to be a part of it as well. And we thank you for being a part of what you do, even though it's a little stickier for you than it is for me. Thank you very much.
You bet.